Day 11 of 30. The beach. You already know where you feel most like yourself. The question is, why you keep choosing not to go there. 30 days for the rest of your life. Day 11. Yesterday we rested. Today, go somewhere. Not just anywhere. Your beach. Maybe your beach is actually the beach. Sun, sand, salt, water. The horizon stretching farther than your problems can follow. Maybe it is a farm, a trail, a field, a mountain, a lake, a town you haven't visited in years. Your mother's kitchen, a cabin, a church, a garage, a porch with a dog lying underneath your chair. Everyone has one. A place where something happens almost immediately. Your breathing changes, your shoulders drop, your mind gets quieter. And for a moment you remember something you keep forgetting. You are not the center of the universe. Thank God. The overview effect. Astronauts describe something called the overview effect. They leave Earth, turn around, and see the planet from outside it. No borders, no highways, no political lines, no neighborhoods, no arguments, no inbox. No one can see your job title from space. No one can see the argument you replayed 15 times this morning. Just this impossibly beautiful blue sphere hanging in darkness. Many astronauts describe the experience as profound, even spiritual. Their perspective changes because for a moment they are able to observe the world they belong to without being consumed by the tiny piece of it they normally inhabit. You probably cannot fly into orbit today, but you have your own version. The beach. Stand at the edge of an ocean and try convincing yourself you are in control of everything. Look at the horizon, listen to the waves, feel the wind. Your problems may still be real, but suddenly they are placed inside something larger. That is perspective. Not minimizing your problems, right-sizing them. The ocean does not care about your schedule. The mountain does not care about your reputation. The trail does not know your credit score. The sunrise does not ask whether yesterday went according to plan. Nature has a remarkable way of removing the mask, because the mask has absolutely no value there. You are simply another living thing standing inside creation. Small, temporary, alive, and somehow remembering your smallness can make you feel whole again. What is your beach? You already know. That's what makes this uncomfortable. There is somewhere you feel better, somewhere you become quieter, somewhere the real you seems easier to hear. Ask yourself, when was the last time I went there? And then ask the more important question, why haven't I gone back? Listen carefully to the excuses. I'm busy. I don't have time. It's too far. Maybe next weekend. I have too much to do. I'll go when things settle down. When exactly is that? We make time for the things we have convinced ourselves are obligations, then treat the things that make life worth living like optional extras. That's backwards. You know you love farms. Why aren't you on one? You love animals. Why aren't there dogs, cats, chickens, horses, whatever brings you back to yourself somewhere in your life? You love the water. When was the last time you touched it? You love walking through the woods. Why are your hiking shoes collecting dust? At some point, self-awareness without action becomes another form of avoidance. You already know what makes you happy. Now stop roadblocking yourself from it. The jailer and the liberator. Day 8 taught us something uncomfortable. You can be both. Your own jailer and your own liberator. We spend enormous amounts of time identifying the people and circumstances standing between us and happiness. Sometimes they are real, but sometimes the prison guard looks exactly like us. Nobody told you that you couldn't go to the beach today. You did. Nobody told you that you had to spend another Sunday staring at your phone. You did. Nobody told you that joy had to wait until every problem was solved. You decided that. Nobody told you happiness had to be earned through suffering first. Maybe you learned that somewhere. But you're still the one enforcing the rule. The door is unlocked, and you're sitting inside the cell, explaining why today is not a convenient time to leave. That is the shadow, too. Not always rage, and not always darkness. Sometimes the shadow simply whispers, "Not yet. Tomorrow. Next week. When you deserve it. When you're thinner. When you're richer. When the relationship is fixed. When the paperwork clears. When the job comes. When everybody understands you, then you can be happy. No. Go now. You don't think you deserve it." This may be underneath more self-sabotage than we realize. Somewhere along the way, pain becomes normal. Then happiness begins to feel irresponsible. You got problems to solve, people to take care of, things you've done wrong, things you still need to prove. So doing something purely because it makes you feel alive begins to feel almost selfish. You tell yourself you'll enjoy life once you've earned it. The shadow loves that arrangement because the finish line keeps moving. There will always be another problem, another bill, another responsibility, another goal, another reason not to go. If happiness requires the permanent absence of problems, you have designed a system where happiness is impossible. Joy cannot only be the reward at the end of the mission. Joy has to be part of the sustainment plan. Otherwise, you won't make it to the end. Do it now. There are things that require patience. This isn't one of them. If you know something is good for you and it is reasonably within your control, stop treating it like a theoretical future possibility. Do it. Gas up the car, book the ticket, call your mother, drive to the trail, go sit beside the water, take the dog, visit the farm, walk barefoot through the grass. Whatever returns you to yourself, go. Not next month. Not when your calendar magically clears. Not after everybody else gives you permission. There are times when "I'll do it later" is simply fear speaking politely. Don't take no for an answer from anyone, especially yourself. Get back to your essence. There is something elemental about water. Your body depends on it. Your brain depends on it. Your muscles depend on it. Most of the human body is water. Then we spend our lives inside cars, offices, fluorescent rooms, screens, concrete, schedules, and algorithms, wondering why something feels disconnected. Go outside, feel the sun, feel the wind. Touch the water, breathe air that wasn't pushed through a vent. Listen to something that wasn't produced by a speaker. There is nothing mystical required here. Your body came from this world. Sometimes returning to simpler sensory reality gives the mind enough silence to remember that. Sun, sand, salt, water, breath. 5 things that existed long before your current problem. 5 things likely to remain long after it. Perspective. The beach doesn't solve your problems. This matters. The beach is not avoidance. Day 6 already taught us that lesson. You cannot run to paradise every time reality becomes uncomfortable. The bills still exist. The conversation still needs to happen. The work still needs to be done. The beach does something different. It reminds you who is going back to solve them. That is the distinction. Escape says, "I am going somewhere so I do not have to face my life." Restoration says, "I am going somewhere so I can return to my life as myself." One weakens you, the other recalibrates you. Your beach is not where you hide from reality. It is where the noise drops low enough for reality to come back into focus. Humility and happiness. The best places do 2 things simultaneously. They make you happy, and they make you humble. An ocean can do that. A mountain can do that. A clear night sky can do that. You feel unbelievably lucky to be alive while simultaneously realizing how incredibly small you are. That combination is medicine for the ego. Maybe that is why humans have always gone into nature searching for God. Not because God only exists there, because we become quiet enough there to notice him. You stand in front of something you could never build, control, purchase, or fully understand. And suddenly the voice saying everything revolves around you sounds ridiculous. Your life matters enormously. And you are one person among billions. Both. Superposition again. Your problems matter, and the ocean is still moving. Your heartbreak matters, and the sun still rises. Your ambitions matter, and the stars existed billions of years before you developed them. Both are true. Perspective is the ability to hold both. Remember who you are. Your happy place often predates the mask. That's why it feels different. Maybe you loved farms before you cared what your job title was. Maybe you loved dogs before anyone taught you to measure success. Maybe you loved the ocean when you were 10. Maybe you loved running trails before every workout needed a purpose. Maybe your mother's voice meant home before life became complicated. These things matter because they are breadcrumbs. They point backward toward something essential. Not backwards into nostalgia. Inward toward identity. Before the world told you who you were supposed to be, something already made you come alive. Pay attention to that. The best version of you is not manufactured from scratch. Day 8 taught us this. It is uncovered, integrated, remembered. Maybe your beach is one of the places where remembering becomes easy. Day 11. The message. What is your beach? Do not overthink the question. You already know. Where does your breathing slow? Where do you stop checking your phone? Where does the world suddenly feel bigger than the problem consuming your attention? Where do you remember God? Where do you remember yourself? Where do you become simultaneously happier and smaller? Go there. And if you cannot physically get there today, move one step toward it. Make the call, make the reservation, put gas in the car, walk outside, find the closest version. Stop waiting for some future you to deserve the things the real you already knows are good. You are capable of being your own worst enemy. We've established that. But remember the superposition. You can also be your own best friend. The jailer can become the liberator. The person building roadblocks can remove them. The person saying not yet can say, why not now? That is growth. Not knowing what makes you happy, knowing it, and finally allowing yourself to do it. 30 days for the rest of your life. Day 1, gratitude. Notice what remains. Day 2, just like you. You are not uniquely broken. Day 3, dogs. Notice who needs you. Day 4, who's there when the music stops? Notice who stands in the rain. Day 5, mistake. Stop waiting for someone else to tell you you're okay. Day 6, sit with it. Stop running from what you already know. Day 7, just breathe. Get to the next breath. Day 8, superposition. Observe the whole person, then choose who drives. Day 9, the called walk through fire. Stay on the path through the fire. Day 10, rest is best. Learn when not to move. Day 11, the beach. Remember where you feel like you. There will always be a reason not to go. Work, money, time, obligations, fear, guilt. Tomorrow. The shadow can manufacture reasons indefinitely. But you know something now that you did not know 11 days ago. You know who is speaking, and you know who gets to choose. So do something good for yourself. Not eventually. Now, gas the car, get the plane ticket, call your mom, take the dog, find the field, walk the trail, go home, find the water. Whatever makes you remember who you are, go touch it again. Then stand there for a minute. No phone, no story, no future, no past. Look at something bigger than you. Breathe. Let yourself become small. Let yourself become grateful. Let yourself be happy without earning it first. The waves were moving before you got there. They'll keep moving after you leave. Your job is not to control the ocean. Your job is to remember that you are alive long enough to stand beside it. Sun, sand, salt, water, breath. Get back to your essence. Get back to yourself. Get back to the beach. ICT. The real war is within. Ideas are bulletproof.